there, my friends. What a wonderful Wednesday it is today. It's February the 10th of 2021. What will we be doing today in social studies? We will explain the difference in living then and now. How will we explain that? First, we will review houses, food, and communication. Then write to explain how has life changed from the past to the present today. Why are we doing this? We will be able to understand how technology has affected our lives. Remember this phone I showed you the other day? Is this a phone from the past or from today in the present? No, it is not the present. You got it. Thank you. This is from the past. Because today, my phone looks like this. Today, you have one of these things. But we haven't always had this technology. Look around at our school or your house. They haven't always looked this way. We have been studying these things from the past and comparing them to today and the present for a few days now. First, we're going to review all of those past, present things. Then you'll be ready to write for me and tell me, how is the past different from today, the present? Attentoscopes on. First, let's look at those houses. Dun, 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 dun. Here I have two labels. Read them with me, please. Then. Say it one more time. Then. Nice job. My other side says, ow, now. Say it one more time, please. Now. Beautiful. Here's some houses from then to now. Remember the then houses? Look at those then houses. Long time ago, Abraham Lincoln was born in a log cabin. Good job. They didn't have all the machines that we use today to do construction. Look at these men. They're having to lift that big tree trunk by their hands and chop it with an axe. And look at them crawling all on top of this log cabin to build it with their hands. Lots of nature in this house. The other houses we saw were in a hillside, dug in a hole. Back then, they did not have bricks and roofs on their houses. More nature materials were used, and it was a lot more work to build them. Now, check out this house. It could be a single story or a two-story house. There could be bricks, there could be rocks, there could be wood, lots of different materials we use today for our houses. We have air conditioning in our house. We have bathrooms in our house. Remember back then? They had to go outside to use the bathroom. These have changed a lot from the past to the present. Take a picture in your mind to remember these houses, past to present. Now think of your opinion. Which one do you prefer to live in? Would you like to live in a log cabin or in a new brick house today? I like the log cabins. Let's move on to the food. Do you remember the foods from then? And the foods we have now. First, let's start with then. What do you remember? Tell me, what do you see in this food picture? What are they eating? Fish, you got it. Do you like to eat fish? Yes or no? Now, these men and women back then, they had to catch everything with their hands or grow it at their house on the farm, pick their own vegetables and fruits. Everything that they were eating came from nature. They had to catch it, they had to grow it, or they had to raise the cows so they would have food to eat. Now, where are these people in this photo? Oh, yeah, they might be at H-E-B. I love that store. We have lots of grocery stores now where you can go and browse tons of different foods from different cultures. You don't have to grow this apple. You just go pick out the one that looks best to you. But back in the past, if you wanted apples, you had to plant seeds, grow your tree, and pick them yourself. Back then, they had a lot more of fresh foods. Now, remember, we have frozen foods, canned foods, and we have restaurants, fast food drive-thrus to get quickly our food that we need to eat. Take a mental picture of this screen and remember these foods. Now think of your opinion. Did you tell me that you prefer food from the past, fresh, catch it yourself, or food today in the present that's quick and easy and lots to choose from? I agree. I love that kind of food. Whatever you choose, that's okay, but explain to me why you like this food in the past, or why do you like the food today? Or how have these foods changed? Explain to me. Back then, the food was what? And now the food is, Explain with your words when we get ready to write. But one more past present to recall. Here we go. Communication. Hello, hello. Remember back in the past, they didn't have these cell phones. They couldn't send a text message or an email using the internet. There was no internet. What were they using back then? Yeehaw! The Pony Express. Good memory. You had to tell this man your message or write it down, hand it to him, and he galloped away on his horse to take it to your friend for you. It took a few days to get there. Or remember the boats that had to travel across the ocean to send your letter? It could take many months to get your letter there. Remember those kinds of phones? The ladies plugging in all the cords. Yeah, that was from the past. But now, look again at this present. That looks just like you with your tablet getting some of your work done. You could be typing an email to your grandma in Mexico or a pen pal in Japan. You can communicate with people all around the world instantly. We have tablets, we have cell phones, we have computers, we have the radio, the television, and we still do use the newspapers today, just like back then. We do still use the TV and the radio. But now we have more technology to where we don't have to wait a long time for our messages and letters to get there. Much quicker now. This is our last thing to remember before we go get writing. Will you take a picture to remember in your head? Communication, then, and now. Awesome. It is time for you to explain to me what life was like back then compared to what life is like now. We will be writing to explain the difference. Everybody needs to get yourself ready with a pencil. The second thing you'll need is your journal. Open up to a new clean page and let's see, what are we going to write today? Okie dokie, we've got journals, we've got pencils, and I hope you found a new, beautiful, clean page to start our writing. We always begin with today's date. Everybody, everywhere, you need a 2 for February, 10 for today, and the year is 2021. One thing we're going to add a little different to our page today with the date is our name. You have to give me today your first name and your last name. Every name has a capital letter, so everyone grab your pencil. Do not copy my name because you don't have the same name that I do. But you can see where I'm putting my name. I'm beginning with a capital letter K. I hope you're starting your name with a capital letter. Everyone is writing your first name. Mine is Kaylin. When you have your first name with a capital letter, put a finger space before you begin your last name with a capital letter. I've got my name, Kaylin Otis, with today's date. Check your journal. Did you give a capital letter on your name, a capital letter on your last name, and you have the dates up in the corner? We're rocking and rolling. It's time to see what are we writing. One more time, take a look at all these photos. They are here to help you in your Google Slide assignment. Communication, then and now. Food, then and now. Houses, then and now. We have talked about it, we've studied it, we've been drawing them. It's time to write and tell me all the things that you can teach me about how is life different from then to now. You could start with, life has changed so much. Back then, the houses had blank. Now, the houses are blank. After you've told me a little bit about houses then and now, come look at the next picture, food, and tell me a little bit about this one. Back then in the past, they ate what? Now I eat blank. I buy my food from blank. Tell me, where do you eat from? Tell me, what do you like to eat? Back then, what would you have eaten in the past? Would you have caught fish with your hands? Would you have grown apple trees? Or do you like just going to H-E-B? After you tell me about the food in the past and the present, come to your last picture, and it's time to talk about the communication. Think, what was going on in the past back then with the Pony Express? Explain to me, what do we use now to communicate? How do you use your tablet? What do you use it for? Who do you talk to? Today, you are telling me all the things that you can about the past and the present. Your pictures are here to help remind you of these facts we've been studying. And you need to take your time to look at each pair of pictures and write for me something you've learned. From the past, they what? And now in the present, we what? Write all that you can. Take your time, look at your pictures here, and use those finger spaces, capital letters and periods, when you are done. If you would like to draw a picture, you can draw a picture up here. But make sure you have done the best, cleanest, neatest writing, as much as you can tell me about the past and the present. And you should be able to read your writing. Take a look at your page. Can you read all the sentences? If it is your best work and you are ready to turn it in, take that final photo, upload to Google Classroom for your teacher, and we are so excited to read all about how it has changed from the past to the present. Do your best, boys and girls. Take your time, say your words out loud, and put them on the paper. I believe in you. See you tomorrow.